I'd like to introduce Melissa Carter
Hi guys, how are you?
of Kameo Vintage here in Winnetka. Tell us, how long have you been here?
I've been here for approximately 4 years. So I started my brand during COVID.
Oh, that's an unusual time to start, but then again, it worked out.
Yes, it did. We actually started off as a pop-up shop and it was well received from the neighborhood. Ideally, a lot of people in this neighborhood do not shop vintage because I think when you think thrift shopping, you think just that. You think you have to go through that dirty t-shirt to find that one thing. Here, everything is picked out for you and we actually style you in vintage so that you understand what eras work with your body type.
Oh, no, I never knew that. That's something very interesting. Did you do something along the lines of fashion prior to this?
I used to be the district recruiter for Coach, and I used to recruit for the 8 stores in Manhattan. And during COVID, they obviously didn't need recruiters then. So I was let go, and then I pivoted into my first passion, which is styling in vintage.
Very cool. Very cool. So it kind of just happened, and here you are.
Yes.
This is amazing, Melissa. And what era would you say for me, just since you mentioned that?
Sure. I definitely think 1960s. I think during that time, a lot of women were celebrated for their hourglass figure. So you're looking at a lot of things that are A-line, empire waists. I also think that's when they started using a little bit more polyester, but not the polyester we see today. It was actually called something else. I forgot what it's called, but it allows the fabric to be a little bit more flexible. So think of the Mad Men. That's how I see your body type.
Oh, and I love that. So perfect. Thank you, Melissa. And can you tell us your exact address so people can find you?
Sure. If you want to stop by at 874 Green Bay Road in Winnetka, Illinois, here we house 4 rooms of vintage. So initially we started off as an e-commerce space, but since we do have a lot of customers who want to be styled, we are open to the public. So I'd love to introduce you to the other, actually 2 client-facing spaces before I head off to the Winnetka Modernism Show this weekend.
Oh, wow. That sounds fabulous. I'm going to try to check that out. Make sure you come and check out Melissa Carter's Kameo Vintage in Winnetka, and also the, what was it? Modern.
It's the Antique and Modernism Show of Winnetka. So the Modernism Show is something that they only do in Paris, Miami, and Winnetka. And it's really focused on modern furniture and antiques. But back in the day, they had a room called the Treasure Room. And during that time, church women would come in and bring tchotchkes. Now we've turned it into a place to get some really highly coveted pieces of vintage fashion.
Wow. That sounds really amazing. Where can we find you on Instagram?
Yes, so you can go to Kameo Vintage, and that's spelled with a K, so Kameo Vintage, and you can follow us on TikTok, also Kameo Vintage, but it's Kameo_vintage.
Okay. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you so much, Linda.
You're welcome.